Here's my promise. The day you decide to actively look for opportunities, your self-esteem will never be the same. When you say, I'm going to start looking every week until I find an opportunity, from that day on, you will change. Your self-esteem will soar. All you need to do is find a clever way to use your own creativity. Think about how to give a better invitation, how to make a stronger presentation, how to improve your training. Find a way to say something extraordinary in just a few words so it makes sense. Can you see how powerful that is? To be able to see things clearly, to use your mind to understand and perceive. You have the ability to see, to listen, and to understand. The old saying goes that listening creates faith. When you listen, it sparks your imagination, allowing you to envision things that don't yet exist. It's about hearing stories and being able to imagine starting from nothing and building something. You might begin in a difficult place, but you can work your way up and eventually find success. Listening to these stories and good ideas fuels your imagination. Imagination then turns into faith. Faith is not only about seeing and understanding the possibilities, but also about believing that they can happen. From people all over the world, we get examples of how you can start from a tough spot in life or in any part of the world with various limitations and still achieve great things. Hearing all those success stories doesn't just help us see and imagine that success is possible. It helps us believe that if we follow the same steps, learn the same lessons, develop the same skills, and use our imagination and faith, we can achieve the same success as those people we've heard about. This is the power you have. The ability to see, hear, understand, and believe that it's possible. You have the power to evaluate what these success stories might mean for you personally. When we hear about someone's success, we often think, how does this apply to me? You have the ability to figure that out. You can start right where you are, even if you have limited money or time. You might need to begin part-time, but you can still do it. You have the power and ability to make it happen. Here's another important thing. You have the power to make decisions. Making decisions can have a huge impact on your life. It can mark the start of a new period of growth for you, not just personally, but also for your business, your skills, and your ability to connect with others. The power to decide is a big part of the personal power we all have. Sometimes we just need to be reminded of it. Another important thing is the ability to act. Acting means putting into action what you see, understand, imagine, believe, and have faith in. The ability to act is key to creating real change. It's not just imagination that builds a career, a business, or a customer base. It's about using your imagination and then taking action. You have the power to do that. If you need to start with limited time, make the most of that time. Work on your goals before you go to your job, during lunch breaks, in the evenings, and on weekends. Use these small chunks of time to kickstart your career, keep it moving, and maintain high momentum. Acting on your goals helps you develop important skills because you can't learn these skills without actually doing the work. It's like learning to communicate. In the beginning, I struggled a lot. I remember my first meeting. I stood up, but my mind seemed to sit back down, leaving me standing there. I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. My knees were shaking, and I was sweating and terrified, but I did it again. I found the courage to try a third and a fourth time. And that was about 35 to 36 years ago. I'm glad you didn't see my first presentation. Now, after all these years, I have much more confidence because I kept practicing my communication skills. You can do the same. You have the power and ability to create a career that will benefit you for as long as you want to pursue it. You can develop a business and be your own boss. If we could start, you can start. If we could believe, you can believe. If we could try, you can try. And if we could try again, you can try again. Keep trying until it becomes easier and your skills start to grow. If any of us can do it, you can do it too. You have the ability to develop the skills that will add value to your life. These skills include learning how to sell, how to attract customers, and how to build a strong customer base. You can learn how to recruit people. You have the power to do all of this. You can also learn how to serve your organization well, how to communicate effectively, how to organize the people you bring together, and how to stay in touch with them. All of these abilities are within your personal power. I want to remind you again of all the power you have. Think about it more now than you might have in the past. There's no reason why you can't have all the business and success you want. This year, especially, you have the chance to make a big impact on your own life, and by doing so, you can also impact the lives of others in the future. Remember, each person's income is determined mainly by their own mindset, not by the economy. Once I realized that, I understood that I didn't need to focus on changing the economy. Instead, I needed to focus on improving myself to become more valuable. Now, here are 5 things I want to share with you. The first one is your personal philosophy. What can help you get ready to seize the opportunities of the 21st century? The answer is your personal philosophy. Your personal philosophy is like a guidance system that helps you make decisions what to do, what not to do based on what you learn and know. Maybe 5 years ago, your philosophy was never to attend seminars like this one. You just didn't go. But now, 5 years later, here you are. Something happened along the way to change your mindset. You started thinking, for the money and the time, if I get just one good idea from this seminar, it's definitely worth it. This change in mindset shows how your personal philosophy has evolved to help you make better decisions. So now, with this small change in your philosophy, you might say, I'm going to attend these seminars regularly because just a few ideas can make a big difference in my income, personal life, social life, and more. You see the value in this change of mindset and ideas. That's what personal philosophy is all about. The more we learn and know, the better decisions we can make. Here are 2 important things your philosophical guidance system does. First, it helps you see the dangers ahead so you can avoid them. This is very important because it keeps you safe and out of trouble. Second, your personal philosophy helps you see opportunities. These are the good things you can take advantage of to improve your life. By seeing these opportunities, you can make the most of them and grow. The main idea here is to avoid dangers and make the most of opportunities. This is what the game of life is all about. The more we learn and the more experiences we have, the better we become at doing this. Whether it's from listening to a sermon, reading books, or any other learning experience, we keep improving our ability to see dangers and opportunities. This continuous improvement helps us live better lives. In short, the goal is to avoid problems and make the best out of good chances. First, we are influenced by what we know. But how can we learn more things that will help us think better, avoid dangers, and make the most of opportunities? Here's the first way. Learn from personal experience. One way to learn to do something right is by first doing it wrong. When you mess up, you might think, wow, that was a big mistake. I don't want to do that again. This helps you understand what not to do in the future. Sometimes making a mistake is the best way to learn how to do something correctly. For example, if you try a new task and fail, you will learn what went wrong and how to avoid those mistakes next time. This way, a negative experience can turn into a positive one because it teaches you valuable lessons. By learning from your mistakes, you can improve and grow. They say if you survive your first heart attack, you might live to be very old. Why is that? Well, the first heart attack is like a wake-up call. It makes you realize that you need to change your lifestyle. After surviving a heart attack, your doctor might warn you that another heart attack could be very dangerous. This warning can scare you into making big changes in your life. You might start shopping at health food stores and reading books about good nutrition. You learn how to eat healthier to avoid another heart attack. You might also start exercising more, like jogging or walking regularly. These changes, eating better and being more active, can improve your health a lot. Because of this, you might live much longer than you would have if you didn't make these changes. Here's some of the best advice I ever got from my mentor. He said, Mr. Rohn, if you change, everything will change for you. If you start making personal changes, your income will change, your health will change, your future will change. Everything will change if you're willing to start making changes. Sometimes a negative experience can push us to make big changes in our lives. For example, if something bad happens, you might decide, I'm never going to let this happen to me again. This decision can lead to a major shift in how you think and act. Making these personal changes can improve many areas of your life. You might start working harder and earning more money. You might start eating better and exercising more, which will improve your health. You might set new goals and work towards a better future. Here's another important way to learn. Learn from other people's experiences, whether they are good or bad. It's a shame that people who fail don't give talks about their mistakes, because that would be very useful information. Imagine if we could listen to their stories and learn what not to do. Even though they don't give lectures, you can still learn a lot by talking to them. If you know someone who has made many mistakes over the years, you could ask them to share their story with you. For example, John, who has messed up his life for 40 years, you could say, John, can we spend a day together? I'll bring my notebook and take good notes. You had everything going for you, a good look, a beautiful family, and every reason to do well. But you threw it all away. Please tell me how you messed up so I can learn from your mistakes. John would then share his story, and you could write down everything he says. By learning from his negative experiences, you can avoid making the same mistakes in your own life. If someone tells me these eggs are rotten, I'm not going to make an omelet and try them, right? I'll just take their advice and avoid using the eggs. This is a simple way to learn from others. Next, learn from your own experiences. When you try something and it doesn't work out, remember the lesson so you don't make the same mistake again. Second, learn from other people's experiences. If someone else has already faced a problem, listen to their advice so you can avoid that problem yourself. My mentor also taught me to always keep a journal. He said, don't rely on your memory. If you want to live a successful and exciting life, making more money and having a better future, be a good student. When a good idea comes your way, write it down, think about it, and then maybe act on it. By keeping a journal, you can remember all the good ideas you come across. This helps you make better decisions and take advantage of opportunities. Your philosophy is shaped by what you learn, what you know, and other people's experiences. Here are 3 ways to learn from other people. First, learn from what you see. One of the important tips for today is to pay attention. Just by watching, you can gather valuable information. Successful people leave clues about what they do right, and you can notice patterns in both the winners and the losers. Observe those who are doing well and those who are struggling. Take mental notes and write down your observations. By seeing what works and what doesn't, you can adjust your own actions based on what you see. For example, if you see someone who is successful, notice their habits and strategies. On the other hand, if you see someone who is not doing well, observe what mistakes they are making. Use this information to improve your own approach. Here's the second point. We learn a lot from other people by listening to what they say. It's important to be a careful listener. Pay attention to people who have good experience, interesting ideas, and a strong reputation. They usually have something valuable to share. Now, here's the third point. Read as many books as you can. Books are full of knowledge and can teach you many things, so make reading a regular habit. There are millions of books out there and you can't read them all. But here's an important tip. Read the books that will help you become as wealthy, healthy, prosperous, productive, and unique as you want to be. Focus on those books and make sure you read them. Don't let them sit unread. When I was 25, my mentor encouraged me to start my own library. Now I have an amazing collection of books. You'd be impressed if you saw it. I haven't read every single book yet, but just being in my library makes me feel smarter. I was wise enough to buy all those books, and now I need to be wise enough to read them all. Here's something important to remember. When you read, you need to go through the information and figure out what is useful for you. This is a key part of learning. First, gather information from different books. Then sort through it to decide what is valuable for you to try. Focus on information that applies to your life and matches your current beliefs and ideas. So read as many books as you can, but always make sure to sort out the information and keep what is useful for you. This way you can get the most benefit from your reading. Our lives are greatly affected by what we learn and what we know.